Hello, welcome to day 6 of our 30 days with Python, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about inputs. We're going to be looking at how you can use Boolean, and you're going to be seeing some of the things you can also practice with. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Now, what we've been doing so far is we've been consuming static data. In other words, you are hard coding the numbers, the value to the variables, and no amount of time you reload your program is still going to produce that same result. For instance, let's say we have a variable of num and we give it the value of 5. If we go ahead and print the num, right, and we save and run it, now, no matter the number of times we get to run it, even if I run it again, let's say I run it again, just F5, save, I run it again, you can see that we keep having the 5. Now, this pretty much works fine, but sometimes you want dynamic details, you want dynamic content, you want the user to provide the content for you, right? Let's see how that works. And that's where input comes in, right? So with inputs, we can grab detail from whoever is running our program and use those information or those data to perform a particular task. How about we ask the user to provide us a number? So we're just going to say a num variable, right? Then we say equals to, we assign it an input field. So we can say input is actually a function. So another input function from Python. So now, if I run this input like this, let's see what happens. Just my F5. You can see Python is already, the cursor is blinking, asking me for an input. Now, nothing pretty much happened, really. So, but what's going on? Just something blinking, no specific information. How about we ask question? How about we just say, please enter a number? So we can just say, please enter a number. So we can just go ahead, let's run it. You can see, please enter a number. Once we enter the number, yes, we've actually gotten that number in a variable, right? And the variable is num. So whatever number we're typing in is being stored here. So how about we perform a math or just add the number, whatever number the user inserts. Let's say we want to print it. So we are going to say num plus, let's add 5. So whatever the user is going to type in, right, whatever number, let's add it to 5. And Python should print the result for us. So if I run it, let's say this time I put 10, you can see, we have an error. Let's see what's causing the error really. Although this is intentional, let's see what's going on. So Python is saying type error can only concatenate string, not integer. Now, what's this saying? Whatever the user is typing, let's even check the type. Let's check the type of this variable. So maybe before we do this calculation, let's try to check the type to understand what's going on. So I am just going to run my F5. And what we are getting, let's say 5 again, you can see string. And that's the reason why Python is throwing that error at us, okay? Telling us that, oh, you cannot add string plus integer. And what do we need to do right now? Since we already know that what's causing the error is type error. Well, we can convert the string into integer. And how do we do that? Pretty much simple. Python gives us an integer function as well that allows us to do that. So you just need to come and wrap your inputs in an int function. So you can see how we are just borrowing inbuilt function from Python. Now let's run it again and see what we get. If I run it, so let's say this time around, let's say number 2, you can see it's back to integer. So which means we can perform our calculation. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this type. We don't need it here. Let's add it to our 5. Okay. Now, if we run it, everything should work fine. So let's say 7. You can see you have 12. Cool. And that really makes sense, right? So you can see that whatever number, whatever value the user is giving you is coming as a string. So you need to convert it to an integer. And we're doing it with the int function to help us convert whatever input the user is giving us. Pretty much cool. And this worked really, really nicely. Now, similarly, you can also choose to convert to a float. Okay, so instead of string, how about we have another num here? Let's call it maybe num2. And let's just comment this one. So num2, we can just say float. Okay, so if we run it, in fact, let's copy the whole of that and just paste it under. And if we run it, let's see what we get. I'm just gonna F5. It's asking me to save. I say go ahead. You can see, so pretty much, let's put in maybe 7 again. It's telling us int. Why is this saying int? Is it because it shouldn't be? Oh, we are referencing num, not num2. Okay, let's just say num2, and this num2 should work. Now let's run our F5. So 7, you can see we have float and 12.0. Pretty much cool. And you can see how we can convert value the way we want it. How about another type of value called Boolean? Converting Boolean value is similarly, actually. And the way we can do that is by also, let's say, in fact, let's do something else here. So we're just going to call it Bool1. Bool1, yes. Now, so let's call this bool. We can also use the bool inbuilt function. And one thing we can do is we can tell the user to enter, please provide yes or no. So we can just say, please enter true or false, right? Please enter true or false. Okay, now let's see if we can print something out of this. Remember, what we are printing is bool1. Let's print the type. Of course, we cannot, this won't work. The calculation won't work actually. We can just check the type. Or alternatively, we can actually even then print whatever value it is. So what we're doing here, we want to check the bool, the Boolean, right? So the user is going to enter either true or false. Let's run the program. If everything works fine, then we should be good. Then let's see if we say true. Something is going on. It's saying we should please enter a number. I think something else. Okay, I think this is, let's comment this one. Let's comment this one. So let's run our F5. Something is wrong. Num2 not defined. Okay. It seems we need to comment out all of those. For save and run our F5. Now, so we're getting the right question. Please enter true or false. I'm just going to say true. True. You can see the type is bool and the printout is true. Being able to learn how the input function work and how you can grab input from the user and get dynamic content and convert such content either into Boolean or into integer. Now, these are the building blocks you need really to extract information from the user at every point. Now that you understand how this thing works, we're going to be putting most of those things into practice in the next lesson. However, I want you to put yourself to a try, test yourself a little bit, and go to the description of this video where I have some practices for you to carry out. Copy this code, guess what the answers are before running each of the code. Now, once you're done guessing, of course, run it and see if your guesses are right. And that's how we wrap it up for today. If you have any question, of course, leave a comment and always chat with us on our social media handles or any channel at all that you can use to reach us. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do that so that you can be notified every time we release a new update. Until next time, I'll see you in the next session.